You know, I appreciate the fact, I really do, that Frank Hill sent me Teen Titans Go to the movies and all that. And obviously, it was a big enough hit to where, it didn't get a sequel, but obviously, it helped the Teen Titans show get a lot more seasons. But to me, if I'm going to be honest, I understand that Teen Titans Go is its own entity and all that. It's its own entity. It lives in its own universe and everything. Obviously, if you watch the ending of Teen Titans Go to the movies, you can pretty much understand, that to be the exact reason, especially when they did the crossover with the original Teen Titans show a little afterwards, if you will. So, you can kind of see, again, you can kind of see why, it exists in its own little bubble. But despite its popularity and everything among fans, and it does have fans, there's no doubt about it. It wouldn't be, like I said, lasting as long as it did or have a decent box office number when the movie came out. But there are times that basically, I believe, honestly, that it kind of feels like, it doesn't know what it wants to be in recent seasons. Because I can be okay with little short stories about, okay, who's going to be the first to eat this impressive sandwich, or who's going to do this, or who's going to be the champ of this, who's going to try this, and da 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 da. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And as a lot of you know as well, I'm a fan of melting, shape-shifting, trope and all that. I have no problem with that. I'm a fan of that trope, and I say with all due respect, no offense, mostly when the female characters end up getting that power because, as I've alluded to before, on camera and in audio, I believe that, the reason the writers choose them, to have those abilities, if you will, is because of the fact that is that women, the female characters, are more, and I say with all due respect, no offense, are more mischievous, more creative, more innovative, more imaginative, and sometimes can be more sensual and seductive depending on the story with those kind of powers. But again, like I said, I have, I have no issue utilizing that trope whenever needed. But the point I'm getting at is it feels like in recent years, in recent seasons, it's almost like that's all Teen Titans Go has been dependent on. It seems that's all it's been dependent on lately, not just with its characters, but with other characters. Like its take on the Doom Patrol and everything, and its take on, Par, if you will, on the Elastigirl in there, if you will. They take it to the extreme, they take it to links with her, which is funny at times and all that. And sometimes, when it's not just her, they use it with their interpretation of Madame Rouge and everything. But then, if it's not Madame Rouge, it's the characters themselves. And one of the primary examples was Starfire. And to me, I thought that fit the character perfect, the way she's presented in Teen Titans Go. That she could be the one, and it was shown in the little montage clips that are out there. Mr. Unknown RP has put some up, if you will. It has been shown that she has fun with these powers. Becoming anything she wants to become and all that to have fun herself or to help out the team. So I have no issue if it's her because it, again, matches her character in the show. But recently, it seems that they've gone a little overboard with the shape-shifting and transformation stuff as of late, when it comes to the episodes. And, for example, one of the episodes has them turning into inanimate vehicles, like cars and boats and everything. It's like, okay, fine, one-time deal, not a problem. But then it has them also recently, I don't know how recent the episode was, has them turning into houses, and everything. And I'm like, and it's because of Lex Luthor, of all people, that does it. And I'm like, what is this? Like, okay, this is new, but, it's like, but to me, it's like, really? Now they, I think what I'm trying to get at is I think, when it comes to the ideas, even for these short stories in Teen Titans Go, it's almost like the creators are running out of ideas and they're falling back on ideas they had done in the past with the characters, but doing different takes on them. Again, going back to when they first began. You have the whole sandwich thing. Raven had, Raven's mini episode of having legs, the way she does and all that. We've kind of seen those stories play out already. Not already with the originals, but we've had them play out basically in new interpretations in the episodes, from what I understand. So, to me, I think what it is, the creative team is just, falling on, not having any original ideas. Again, using the shape-shifting, melting stuff trope and all that, not a bad, it's not a bad usage, don't get me wrong. But if it feels like you're repeating the same thing over and over again, it's like you're basically telling the world we're running low on ideas. It's the same with SpongeBob, on Nickelodeon. He's been going on for almost like 30, what has it been, 30 years, if you will, going to be, what is it now, 26 years? 26 years, 26 seasons, 30 seasons, whatever. And it's almost like some of the newer episodes and all that are repetitive of old episodes and everything. And it's like, okay, where's the originality? And even with some of the movies, some of the movies have originality, but they also feel like they're taking concepts we've seen in the episodes and incorporating them, into the movies. And it's like, well, we've seen this already in an episode. Why are you incorporating it in the movie? So to me, it's like when you have shows going for this long, even despite the popularity, you start running low on ideas. And I just feel, to me, that if you want Teen Titans to continue going as a series, that being Teen Titans Go, that is, then you need to develop newer ideas. If you want to still go the shape-shifting, transformation, melty gooey route and all that, fine. But come up with an idea that, basically shows reasoning for it. Not just like, oh, I'm going to turn you into houses. Phew, there you go. And everything to get revenge or to teach them a lesson. No, come up with a reason. Come up with a reason and all that. Like, Starfire, I should say, when she got the elastic powers, I think there was a reason she got them. But let's say you want to do another story with her getting these kind of powers, or let's say the melty powers, she melts all the time, likes it. Give her a reason why she wants to do it. Give her a legit reason of, oh, I want to have melting power so I can melt into a puddle of goo and maybe expand myself in a pool and just be the pool itself and all that. Give her a reason. As silly and non-continuity as these little mini episodes are, give them a reason. Even if you use the same trope as you've used in the past. So I just wanted to come on here, as out of the blue as this video may have been, but I just wanted to come out here and just give my take on it. And, give my reasoning as to why I feel Teen Titans Go, if it wants to continue, if Warner Brothers wants it to continue for as long as it can, they need to come up with better ideas. Even if you use the same tropes, and everything for the mini episodes, the mini-sodes, if you will, come up with different ideas that basically, give a reason as to why the characters want to be this way, why they want to, let's say, have the power of melting into goo, or they want to have the power to turn into a house, or have the power to turn into a plant, or whatever. Give them a reason, and stick with that reason, throughout the mini episode, and then have them change back, or if it's non-continuity, just have them remain that way, and then they're back to normal in the next one. But again, I just wanted to talk about that, give my take on it. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like the video, do everything in the description, ring the bell for notification.